site open for the taking. This will have to be a full 5-man retake, and Lackey, that had to be a kill. There's a kid on Selter at the very least for this retake, but they needed that extra man. They'll make their way out of the connector. The dualies of Kenzie leading the charge.
Watch out for Story.
He's got it.
Oh, he should be able to get this one out easily. He's managed to navigate around, but no! Missing all the shots, Story! He's lucky that his teammates are at least getting off his pop shots with the Glocks, but Story's definitely missed out on a big opportunity. Does at least collect on one, but Kenzie around the corner with the dualies will continue to aggress through. He's really just looking for as much money as he can get, and honestly, he's gotten quite a bit.
Why did Selter die? But it will be a threat in the future. They kind of have no security here. There's no kit at the very least here for Aurora, so there will be some urgency put on Norway's flank.
Uterus. Once I actually started going in and getting a few of these duels before Norway can activate, and well, good for one. Doesn't look like it.
Uh-oh.
Oh, never mind. That's a foot shown off. I've never seen that work out for the boost, but hey, all's well that ends well for the booster, I guess. Blood spatter on the wall as Selter is going to be trying to duck in behind this smoke, using it as a one-way. Perfectly done. Arrow's Dutch is down. And so where they thought they'd found an opening, instead are having their eyes poked out from behind it. God. Even the extra brutality of a shot to the head for Roman. Story's got nothing to do here beyond just
right into him.
It's already 2 kills that Ladix has found on the U-Jerks, who's hoping to get lucky.
No flash, no smoke. Nothing to deter that Ultra, but a flash in for Soul. And Selter was blinded up, but has a teammate covering off his back, so Selter pushes forward, and Lackey has it all covered off. Arrowsdosh, all that remains a 1-on-4.
Initial entry in the previous round, but now it is going to be a fast pop through. Arrowsdosh has popped out Lackey's head. Norway trying to defend out Selter, and Selter has been given the cover he needs to make sure they can maintain the advantage. So entry be damned. It is the Aurora to come out on top over here. 3-on-4 as Kenzie's just trying to lock Roman in. Make sure that connector can't be reclaimed and the T side can't rotate.
They are feeling a little trapped here. Molotov in at the good timing. Selter has to move out of his spot and will succeed in doing so, but Roman's been found all the meanwhile, and that loses one prong to the assault. Story, 1 kill in response, but 3 will stay.
Is just playing this one way perfectly. As Dotcha taken down initially, and now it's also just trying to accelerate before Lackey can come into play. Utrix will find one while the bomb's being planted. Aurora just needs to wait. They know that Lackey's coming in, and now Lackey's added. That chaos will go down. Sure, no. Not before he chucks out a grenade, and already having done all he needs to. Story alone in a 1-on-2. Spots out the Heaven player as well as he jumps off. Kenzie does have a smoke, but won't have a kit. Is there one to be recovered? Yes, there is, and he's done it. Smoke now down. Story will be able to spot him crossing over. The Glock is what he'll elect to go for to try and stop the defuse from happening. Kenzie inside the smoke, though, just sticks it all the way. Story.
State.
Yeah. CTs are at least prepared to immediately fly back into CT, as strange of a sentence as that sounds. But Saw still will have the crunch in. With 2 players now bunched back in Graffiti, they need to win out duels that they are simply not getting. Aurora at this point likely contemplating a save, but Kenzie is 15-1. If I'm not wrong, he hasn't actually died after the first round, so you can forgive him for feeling invulnerable. I'll start to move forward. Smoke down and flash dodged. Teammate nowhere nearby for any trades, anything like it. Latix made noise as well, but Muterus does check the close angle first, and look, the defuse is coming in again. The smoke will not be spreading all the way through. The spam, however, not quite there. They almost sneak.
Oh, Arrowsdosh falls, and so will Roman. Selter just holds down. Teammates can start to make their way over. Latic does have support from Connector rather soon, Norway, but Latic may not even need the help. A smoke down, Roman spams him through it, but Norway now just trying to prioritize his life. A 2-on-4. Once again, saw just losing out on so many of these duels, so many of these exchanges. But Latic has really been a spark into getting so much of the action, hitting a lot of these pivotal shots on that AWP. This round's not over just yet. Lackey full cleared. Kenzie uncleared 4. Nades were being pulled, and Roman was trying to punch in the digits on that bomb. Now fully committing to that plant, but Nori has him on the...
Nori might be able to push through, and with the bomb being this far behind, this is something that's fine to do normally, but I feel like Saw is not quite trained on to how fast the aggression from Aurora comes through. Nori even almost missing an opportunity, but the full headshot angle that he made for himself around the concrete stairs just works out wonders for him.
This might be like the 4th, maybe even 5th 2v4 we've seen Soul in.
There's been a lot of them.
Yeah, this is rough. Just can't get anything to sort of... They can't even orchestrate Aurora into, you know, bait them into some of these peaks that they're hoping to capitalize on.
Well, listen, there's only 2 players on the bomb site. Maybe there's a world, never mind there is.
Latic's been lightning fast.
Yes, he has. There are 3 actually with 1 outside of heaven. This is not going to be an easy scale at all. They spot out the players, they've got the position, but without the flashes, it's so hard to go through these smokes. And indeed, when they do, Nori will intercept, but it's Aurora who ends up being the hero of the round. Kenzie, already brought down low from the earlier spam, is almost brought down completely. Finally forced to turn around and retreat. Saw off the back of a cute gimmick and then just a fast play from Aurora. Will find another round. Actually,
a good position now for Saw, because they've lost so many rounds in a row. There is no loss bonus built up for Aurora. Saving these weapons has very high value, and I guarantee you Saw want to take it out of their hands. You already see where Roman's positioned. Vlatic deals with Roman, then there should be some security in holding these guns, but a hard angle to clear, but it's a headshot.
And with the 2 riflers aforementioned, contacting on A is not easy. Norby spotted him out through the window in the truck, and Kenzie with just 1 can now push forward. Norby wants to stay alive, but instead peeks out. Mudras takes advantage of the small boon that they've had, but it is still a 3-on-4 where they want to find more kills and fast. At least Celta will be a slow rotate case, if nothing else, but Kenzie is just holding down long, and Lackey's found another with a deagle. Even the weakness of the deagle will not be serving as any defense. Saw losing numbers, and all too soon, Latix even found the dink onto Mudras as well, Arizdoche. The only one left, and he has to add 3 more kills to his tally if he wants to get this done. Gain a tap down, and they're so scared. They're terrified.
See if it, maybe that script flips here on this first map. Woo. Or maybe it stays the same.
That's not a great start. And, well, Nori spots out another one. It's Roman gone down. So, yeah. Saw are falling apart. You know, Ujerks at the very least will find 1, and I guess he's dropped the bomb. Maybe still more to be done over here. Flashbang out over, not actually deployed, still held in his pockets, and he's just looking to fight without having used it. So, okay.
It's gone.
Troy's getting a lot of audio cues over here. He's sad too now. Okay. The sadness is spreading, and Aurora are the contagions. Mutaris next to fall. And yeah, I think you might have been right in writing off this one, Michael, because I can't see. It just doesn't have a brain. It doesn't do anything. It just hardens. That's all it does, man.
Well, they need extra defense. Hardening up like a metapod. Soul really need extra evolution to their game. Nade right on top of them at both a dice, and they both get dropped. Ujerks caught behind smokes. He doesn't see a damn thing. Where are all of these Aurora players? And he finds out the hard way. Same treatment that his teammates got. Only these 2 guns remain for Soul, but I mean, do you just go for it? I mean, this game has been brutal throughout regardless, and they're gonna end up empty-handed. They wanted to try for something.
Time's ticking. Aurora. I haven't really had too much experience with this clock being low and them being in a disadvantageous position, but I'm sure they'll figure something out. So in the meanwhile, don't want to give up control over short in the late round. Of course, they have to be very careful about connector. That's where Norby is sitting in wait, and he will now know there are two players nearby. Lackey spot out the one. Arazdoce is taken down as well, and right as he puts away his gun. 20 seconds. Now all just ticking down. Saw 15 on the clock, and they've lost it all. And right where they were looking for a bit more confidence, this might be the worst way to shake it off. Small mistakes and guns being put away. Angles not being quite cleared out. And Aurora.
Pistol.
Ujrix was one of the players who actually did have a few rounds of hope on the T side. And it feels like he's about to be called upon very soon. Story is nearby to assist on the crossfire. Odds from our partners at 1xBet have very much shifted from the 187 flat that we saw earlier on. No surprises there. Muris pushing all the way through. More and more affirmation of a quick bop through for ramp to maybe be coming in. Ujrix wants to commit. Great shot, and Story's no less for one. That is just some fantastic stuff coming through. The cleanup crew will continue to just force back the T side. Lackey the only one to actually find a kill, but with the bomb already lost, the smoke will be used to try and recover it. Let's not forget that Muris is very much aware of their hijinks, but with 25 seconds, are Aurora trying to go outside to lower? Probably not.
It could be an idea. 20 seconds. I mean, Seltzer just can't make that same rotation, so he has to fight his way out of it, and there were already two inside of hut. Even if Muris went down, a trade was almost certainly lined up, and Lackey is left with no teammates, no bomb, and no time. So this round is almost certainly Soars. They get off to a realize that this is a possibility they should do. At the moment, it doesn't seem like anybody's really made that move to defend the lower site, so could be a mode of activation, but a smoke in towards Mini, and Nori just spotting a glimpse of Muteris. They're trying to approach this on a wrap. Muteris holding for the jump through to lockers. Lackey trying to line up the trade, but Muteris doubles up. Great stuff from the in-game leader, and Story from up high will find a third as well.
Aurora just weren't ready for that many players to be there, and even if there was only one, Muteris deals with them all on his own effectively. So much of the strat was set up for Kenzie to actually come through and be there to find success for the late play, up through ramp potentially. But instead, the early is where they falter. Bomb is nowhere nearby. These remaining two players are honestly just considering the best avenue of damage and saving both alike. Selter, however, seems like might not be able to do either. Kenzie's already lost his life, and when Selter spotted out Story's
best of money for this round, he's just shortchanged with a deagle. Story, I mean, great pre-aim. Perfect.
Story's off to a very hot start right now. 7-0, and another one on top of it. It's a collateral. Now, admittedly, Latic will respond, but I'm sure Story's feeling happy about that round regardless of his fate initially. Muteris is
healthy. 3-on-4 will be somewhat hard to navigate. Timing is pretty decent there for Selter. The problem is he's being sideswiped, and Lackey sprung in with that AK. This kill is key. Lackey needed some extra help because he has no health, and now no help. Spam! Right on the money. They're onto a Roadstosh, and the counter isn't quite there in time. Lackey's just toying with them, trying to keep them all busy. It needed to be an instant headshot because Story comes out swinging with the dualies, but the kit available for Story, he jumps on it late. It's really going to be tight, but he gets it just in time.
Really matter, a secondary smoke, and now he's just watching out for the second cross, uses his enemy's smoke as cover for himself instead. But with 35 seconds, at least Aurora has some access to this lower bomb site. Ujrix is still going to be in between them and the bomb plant. Latic position. Given up. Ujrix has been baited out into the peak. His initial audio must have been heard. Latic was just so sure about where he was. Kenzie, however, runs afoul of Story. So now the oppers on either side might be getting frags, but it's a bit too late for Aurora because there's only 10 seconds left on the clock. Lackey gets a kill, and in the meanwhile, he's lost a teammate. So with the Molotov down, is he trying to suicide? What's going on? He doesn't have time to plant the bomb, and he should know it. After time. 12-2. So, yep, they're Pretty much lifting Saw out of the despairs of over. He wouldn't have died if not for the damage also taken by the fall.
Too true.
Oh, God. Really is the case of nothing working out. Aristotle ignores the flashbang. Without a Molotov, there's no reason for him to actually peek forward. He's heard the scopes as well. Norby's given up his position. Selter is watching out for the swing. Norby as well does come out on top, but somehow Roman and U-Jerks
on out. A Molotov, actually no, sorry, a smoke into Mini, and Aras Doce has not moved a muscle. Sightlines are still held by the majority of Soul members, and Aras Doce, a player actually cheated underneath him, but not actually going to activate. Norway didn't hunt for that frag, and he only gets one in response. Aras Doce is still holding the high ground, and he's doing so much work from this position. A fourth kill and a fifth will be denied, but Muterus
he's seen by Norby, so this goes ahead and continues on his quad kill. Now Norby, well, it's his time to maybe shine. As Dodge taken down, some revenge has been found, but unfortunately revenge is sweet and comes in threes. Muterus continues to remind them of that triple kill and another one for him. 17 and 2 now.
I'm showing him up. That's that looked just like a twist play, but with much lesser effect. Nori and Kenzie, all that remain, and spotted. At least one of them ID'd. New-Jerk shouldn't really give them this challenge, but he is sticking around. They've been getting away with quite a lot, but yeah, now he realizes after he flubs the line, now's the appropriate time to fall back. Bomb is obviously very detached from them. I think it might have made its way down the vents, and Roman dink for a shot straight through the chest. They're both so low, though.
U-Jerk has heard the scope. He knows that they're still around in the vicinity. And Bomb, I'm not sure if they actually know where the bomb is.
Yeah, Saw. They might not.
Yeah. I mean, Aurora. They've got it on the map. Well, they'll be moving forward to recover it here, but Muterus is just going to peek out, finds Kenzie with a knife out. What's going on over here?
Also a flub smoke there from Kenzie. Not what he was supposed to throw, not that it seems to matter. U-Jerk's 2 kills, and at least there are counters in from Aurora, but they've been stopped in their tracks now as a result of this 3-on-3. Roman, that's a must-do frag. Arozdoce, a kill in response, but the quick scope there from Latic. And Story, last man standing. A 1-on-2, and he's being accounted for. The quickscope won't quite connect, but also missing out on his lines. Kenzie, it could have been a kill just left up on a silver platter, but it will be a third round. They finally break through at the last save.
Norby now pushing forward. There are 5 players waiting for him, and Norby could find a lot of frags there, or he could get shot in the head as well. Unfortunately, both duelies have suffered that fate, one of which has somehow managed to stay alive. Kenzie has to try and close the distance while Selter comes over, and Kenzie won't be waiting too long for a double swing or anything like it. It is just Saw with the bomb plant down and pursuing outside, and Selter will at least force them to respect him somewhat, but the push up through vents is impossible to actually accomplish with Lackey's HP being where it is, and Lactic was really their only hope for winning out the round. Lackey can get a couple more kills. Of course, he has been headlining the scoreboard for Aurora regardless, but Saw are content with the fact that this gives him 13.
Yeah, headlining is a bit of a stretch of that term, but it's not technically wrong. He's not far away from his... It's enough for me.
Well, Kenzie's found Roman at the very least, and maybe there's a force by win to be had if they can chain together a few more of those, but with the time down this low and Story as well falling, Saw have found themselves overrun. They lost track of where the CTs could be, and Aurora's pushing tendencies do give them at least a 4-on-2 to work off of with the bomb planted, and U-Jerk's protecting. It is now a 3-on-2. Molotov and U-Jerk's is actually pushing forward behind it, trying to use the black smoke, but it just won't be enough. Selter and Lackey, quick work on the bomb site, and they either. And could be using some of these Glocks as bait. They're lining up and getting ready to enter into this bomb site. Selter's reload will start to spur them on, but the knives are out! The knives are out! Oh, see, with the triple knife, it's a shank attack! Ay, 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 Saw! If there's one thing to take away your morale, it would be that.
I have no words. Unbelievable. It's only against Glocks predominantly, but we saw Muterus in a similar position. He used his AK. Nori decided the knife was enough, but it's the Glock burst. Don't often see a triple knife nor the burst kills, but this is ridiculous. That's all he waited for.
You've heard of the Shark Tank. This is the Shank Tank.
Oh my god. And they couldn't do it. They couldn't stop him. Yeah, well that certainly changes the tone, but wonder if that will affect Saw at all. A burst in towards this A bomb site and not finding too much success. It's a back and forth set of trades, but Nori still sits himself on top of this site. Molotov forcing him back, but they redivert back to B. Trigger discipline from Lackey, trying to let more players out before pulling that trigger, but now he's out in no man's land. Two players can swing either side of the site. Latic didn't quite get here in time, but a quick zoom onto Roman and a nade to weaken up Arozdosh. Oh, wow. Latic didn't even wait.
Solid. Covered before the M4 will be flanking him in. Kenzie isn't aware of his position. Story now revealing himself and will just be moving back after having scared the CTs. Hasn't actually found the op. Now finally picks it up. Kenzie still looking to commit to this round. Let's not forget Aurora need to get every single round they can over here. There's no freebies to give away, and Kenzie is ensuring that. But Story, with an op now saved up, is waiting to see what damage he can do. None at 24 maybe. Yeah, around that. He's had a few rounds without actually finding any impact, and that will always be slightly concerning whenever there's a snowball that could come crashing into a wall. But with the time ticking down low, so I'll still have an opportunity to try and wrap around via U-Jerks, who is getting very aggressive backdoor ramp. So if anyone wants to rotate in through that, that'll be a problem. U-Jerks, however, has made noise, and I don't just mean getting the kill on Kenzie. Latic and Lackey both coming up big in a team flash. We'll be taking Saw back a long way. 4 players. Ain't no such thing as flight over here as Muterus tries to take flight through the smoke, and he's honestly getting nothing. He's getting ripped to shreds.
This is interesting, though. They have conceded ramp control, and so there is just a free path for all these members of Saw, and Lackey goes back to check it, but already the damage is done. They get so much room and a kill. Oh. A quick one at that from Latic, and he'll find the follow-up as well. Only one door blown open. Arozdosh also a sitting duck. This AWP is not to be trifled with. And the AWP of Story will find nothing in response.
The bomb site, Latic as well. Missed shots, uncharacteristic, but Norby's at least there to try and make it a slightly better affair. CT money is fantastic. They can and will try and commit to this. A little bit more util will go a long way. The flash will help Kenzie just clear out that there is no one on this side, but Selter's demise will make it so Norby has to be the one to put the pedal to the metal. Do they expect to play in dark? Of course they do. Muterus will be found out as well. Even this retake is put together. Aurora now find 11.
A collection of frags there for Saw, and
jump scare that doesn't lead to a kill in that round at least. Lackey spotting out 2 players, knows he needs to find his way out, at least good for the one. And in the meanwhile, they're hunting down this lurker. Muterus finally breaks the dry spell. A Molotov at his feet will, however, still propel him to his death. 3-on-3 and Aurora are no strangers to retakes.
Oh, and a critical kill there for Latic. They're a little slow on this retake, but now they can pick up the pace. They know they have a numbers advantage. All about whether or not they can leverage that appropriately. Selter rendezvousing up with Kenzie, and they do have a Molotov that will help flush out one of these positions, one of these troublesome angles. Roman, it's all about whether or not he can keep himself alive at the top side of the site. It's a hard angle to clear from Decon, but Selter comes out swinging. There will be a trade up by Kenzie, but Story holds the cross. It's all about... Has he cooked something for Saw to get them a second round at the very minimum?
Roman slows down the distance. Good for the first one over here. So is Norby. Gonna hit the deck. No responses from the CT so far. Latic's not been given a single sightline. Molotov down to the planter is late. It feels like Saul might have actually just figured it out. A fast A-side pop, and Aurora don't look like they can actually contest this retake at all. Lackey going down as well. Latic has to fade away. Doesn't do so, and that's why I said he had to.
They have money. That's fine. But finally wanted to get Roman in a position where he could threaten that A-bomb site. Meanwhile, the rest of the team would make this cross. This is a little bit of a diversion. Lackey may not get confirmation on numbers, and he misses out on his initial duel. Too slow to react. U-Jerk swiping across his screen. And now Latic has to be the man that keeps them away from this B-bomb site. Has succeeded so many times over with this quick, flicky style. But Horozdosh has an opportunity. Latic, a backstab lined up, and Kenzie caught. Latic dropped as well. No gimmicks, no fast plays, no quick crosses. Just a simple peek in at ramp, and Latic has it locked in.
Latic knows he needs to go for more than just the one Molotov at his feet, and he misses out over there. Kenzie as well can't finish off his meal, and as they pursue after him in through the flames they go. Latic, close range, will continue to shotgun them down. He is not one to fall before a challenge. Instead, he is one to fell all those who will challenge. Uter is fighting back where he can, but with 5 in front of him, one name is all sides. Stories up, won't find anything. A grenade to its feet as well might have taken it down had he not retreated earlier on. Kenzie smoked down to give him more maneuverability. Has spotted Muterus as well, but forced to go for the reload as he's just waiting for his teammates to make a play out through lobby. Kenzie's done more than he could be asked to. Teammates are being quite slow about this, but at least they're managing to navigate around Arasdoce, who does come out with a double regardless. Still a flank to come through. It's Lackey to maybe eliminate, but it can't be done. So, right at the edge of time, they might have found a way to cross the finish line. AK recovered. Latic needs to do it without his rifle of choice. Double flash out and into the smoke he goes, fully blind on his own.
They don't know he's
But
out.
all 3 players on the other side, and U-Jerks will finish him off. Saw cross it somehow.
Well, if that's to be believed, then this CT side from Aurora should be banging.
Gonna have to wait to find out, as contact will be slow. Saw don't want to reveal too much over here. Selter has got company. It is a classic bait and switch, but Latic is continuing to be deadlier and deadlier. Wants to keep it fighting. They might have an idea now that there should be another one nearby. Selter out with the double duels. Even Muterus being caught off on the fade into red room will be done to just 12. Lackey getting ready to get another shot in, and with that, Roman's the only one left standing.
Yeah, it's the bomb that can be swarmed around. He was trying to lurk his way out through A, but there were no defenders, and Lackey's now spotted him, so all the reinforcements is coming. If he found this kill rather quick, it would have been nice, but now he's caught in a crossfire with that bomb between them.
Kenzie's the solo player, would be the nicest one to start off with, but the donut smoke, unfortunately, they're not actually going to be able to do too much with that. There's a player playing from behind it. Selter finds U-Jerks, and they'll realize a little bit too late that they've not quite gotten that lineup right.
Yeah, and they dealt with Horozdosh as well, the guy that was left in charge of a lurk. If they were going to get this access towards the A-bomb site, he would have seen later round usage, but him being flushed out does limit some of the options now for Saw. Our last non-CIS participants here in the CCT Online Finals.
Surprised that Nate does so little damage.
He kind of banks off that wall to the left-hand side, and fortunately, Story was all the way to the right.
To his department. So I have the option of playing completely mute at this point, though. They've got cheetah control. There's only one round of aggression available to the CTs, and they are looking to explore it, perhaps. Kenzie will be slow peeking forward, and with U-Jerks' angle being oh so difficult to deal with, Kenzie's just walking into his death. You can see how uncertain Lackey is about where he could or should go. Well, he's found out now.
Yeah,
Bomb drop, though, actually. The bomb is in
Not-
front of the smoke. There's not going to be much you can do over here. Re-smoking it will at least let you pick it up. But now, with more damage dealt, courtesy of the USB, Story's been brought down. And Lackey's got room to try and do the same to the bomb as well. Muter's on the other side.
Oh, no.
Misses an offshot, and the Tech-9's been taken out. There's 8 seconds to get onto the site. That means Lackey's got a 1v1 back in CT. But without that win, Aurora can at least make this round slightly more comfortable.
I mean, this is also a good argument. Decent damage, but they're not deterred. They're continuing to push forward, and that's a sitting duck.
Nice.
Norway caught out.
Really nicely done, but he's actually going for more users. He's bit off more than he can chew, and now it's a 4-on-4. Selter as well spots out
What
Aurora
is
through the
this?
gap in the smoke, and he's taking advantage of it as well. Flashbang is fantastic. Selter and company are just running into each other. Roman and Story will take advantage of that flash. Kenzie, however, still alive. A 2-on-1, both players low, but Story doesn't have the proper call for it. Could just pistol them both down otherwise, and as soon as that tap comes through, Story does move outwards. Lackey trying to bodyguard, but it will not matter. Lackey needed to get the shot, and indeed he does.
Looking very scary. Both players were low enough that a collateral could have finished off the job, but not to be. Saw running in with Muterus in middle, but has no support from his team. That's because they've all set up outside of B, but the spam keeps them at bay, and Nori's plucked out another.
And another one. Well, finally Norway does end up falling, but that's where Kenzie is getting ready to pick up the pieces. And the paces. Got Shelter having rotated over, and more importantly, Lucky and company are playing knife out against each other. Flashes retrieved, but he's actually blinding himself. That's the efficacy of a T-side flash right there, baby. Doesn't matter if it's used by CT, hand still ends up blinding them anyway. Built different.
Well, that is a very, very strange position to have found themselves in. From a 4-on-2, now just to 3.
Selter's getting ready for the peak, though. There isn't a flashback. He's going to have to go try. And indeed, when first contact is made, Selter thought he might be able to get 2, but Arsdotcha responds. Still, a doable round. We'll need the full quad to actually pull it off, but position is good for it. Bomb planted. Is there a spam? They're thinking about it. Moving in again, 1 by 1. Arsdotcha is being given everything here. Latex got an op. This isn't the weapon for the clutch. And all Arsdotcha needs to do is just play it out silently. Latic doesn't have time to rotate in from behind. He doesn't feel confident in doing so either. Arsdotcha still doesn't have the HPM. Able to run right past Selter. Into the bomb site he goes, welcoming Arsdotcha into his domain. Domain that will be uninterrupted.
They really needed to keep the extra prongs healthy. See, it's forcing Roman to now make his move, but Lucky's already covering for a rotate.
Bomb's alone, it's gonna die over here.
Or
Story's
will it?
good for one, but no, Norway doesn't actually peek out in time. Norway will go forward. Story now having made noise, and Norway knows that he can actually go out and drop it, but he's way too slow. That guy's got speed boost on or something like it. Norway had a chance to win the round there and then, but now while the bomb is being planted, trying to swing outwards, a flash and a smoke both at his feet.
Got a gap.
It's a big one, actually. Not one that he'll be able to exploit, though. Unfortunately, Roman can actually move past maybe the X-ray, making it look like it's more than it was. But as the smoke fades, have to remind ourselves Norway does not have a kit, and now he's given out a footstep as well.
The Deagle first. Aurora dealt with, and the only defender on this A bomb site is pushed forward into A main. This should be something that is considered by Seoul. They didn't have somebody clearing that themselves, and a deep smoke is also a good indicator. They do have a numbers advantage for this retake, Aurora.
And Saw don't have util. So it's not going to be the easiest post-plant. Story's trying to turn around, but can't quite get the timing. Advantage maintained, and now extended. Lackey goes in through the smoke. The reload might have actually stolen away another kill from him. Roman trying to force them off with a weapon he stole from their very corpses earlier on, but with a double AK swing planned, it's U-Jerks who's actually creating chaos. No scope with the scout to be what actually finds the kill, and as they sit down on the defuse, there isn't a kit, but maybe Lackey can just get the headshot. Roman target prioritization is on point, though. Aurora make it.
Started this game off relatively well, 12-4, and right now as well, catching Muter is completely unaware. So he might be the X factor with all these other pieces. So down to 3 once again. How does that flash not blind Latic?
Man's got sunglasses on, Michael. That's what you don't know.
Oh, it's a bit of an awkward stalemate. Latic did give that interview during the RMR where he was rocking sunglasses, a very meme interview. So maybe he does have them on now.
The S players do have some fun interviews, I will say that.
They cannot let another one of these rounds slip by. They've left a really big gap in middle, and Kenzie is the only man to defend it. That is the first piece of the puzzle. 40 seconds, and Saw have dealt with one of these players on B, but they have identified that Saw have compromised middle.
I was about to say this is a really good play from Lucky that he'd gone into A main, but the fact that he was pushing all the way out to go for a late flank makes Selter very lonely. Trying to go for the bomb plant over here. Selter will not even attempt to deny. He's playing for the late round, and that late round is very heavily dependent on what Lucky can actually find. Arsdoce watching out for this angle, and now with the scope also having been heard, he knows that there are multiple players coming over his way. Flash won't really keep him blind, but Latic can take him down, and elsewhere he's lost another teammate. So Story 1-on-3, and he can't even find the first.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
I actually thought Aurora were peeling away from their mid control, but they did stick around. They spammed, and Nori actually used a little one-way that Saw did not respect. Oh my
They
goodness.
don't realize how close Nori is over here, and now they do. Muris is trying to recover that frag as fast as he can, and even gets a second. Kenzie doesn't know where his head went, but he has to go find it.
This man's 30 years old. He shoots like that. No spot is safe. He's already a key piece on this roster for being an in-game leader, but we saw him have a great amount of impact on Nuke, especially that CT side, but now some sharp shooting too. Is there something this guy can't do? "40 seconds, and Lucky's actually peeled his attention away from A. They are down that extra man compared to the 3 that remain of Salt. Lucky might be able to get his hands on a rifle, but he just doesn't want to give away a sound cue because they've completely lost track of where Salt have gotten off to.
Well, he's heard the bomb now being planted. Once he's trying to accelerate and deny it, will not be able to do so. Arsdoce is happy with that trade. But how many rounds are we going to have from Aurora where it feels like they have the advantage and they just let it slip through Latic on in moment to be receiving the brunt of it?
They're calling Kenzie's bluff. They're trying to chase him after he commits the reload. U-Jerk's sitting inside that smoke, but it's fading, and Kenzie knows it.
Kenzie also might have actually heard a step from U-Jerks there.
Yeah. Well, meanwhile, the fact that they've lost an extra man is obviously unideal. Kenzie dropped an instant headshot, and the AWP of Norway now will take his place. 1 kill, but Saw still have that man advantage to play off of.
I have a feeling they're going to try and commit to this, considering that Norby's the one with the AWP, and he's not keeping a hold of it at all. Spam is good. Arsdoce almost gets taken down to half HP or so, but it just won't be enough right now. The Molotov is late to the party, and when it is delivered, Arsdoce is moved into it. A lot of damage received, and again, Norby's back on the op now. Are they thinking about saving? Well, at least he would have been able to find an easier frag onto the op if he hadn't just shifted his aim away. Roman even anywhere nearby this A-bomb site. Now, fortunately for him, there aren't too many T's here either, but Muris is looking to take advantage of Kenzie being the rotator through. Norway's demise is met, and Muris is still not actually being given any audio cues. Kenzie is trained onto him. Eventually, you got to be giving up some information, and indeed, that's what Selter is doing. But the problem is that they've actually lost control over this B bomb site. Latic, however, still alive, and actually, it manages to pair together 2 big frags. Bomb now being planted. Let me remind you, there isn't a kit on the CT side, and a smoke now differentiating in their path to the retake as well. Story's still alive with the AWP, so his low HP might not matter too much. Arsdoce, lots of damage being dealt. He doesn't feel like he has a path of retreat. Will be forced back into the B house, and they're going to realize it. Flashes forward as they keep on peeking. Selter is taken down. Arsdoce can just wallbang him through, make it look easy. Bomb not planted for him, so they think Stories.
And we'll see whether Saw can keep that up transitioning into CT. I did note Aurora have a good track record of T-side performances, but they need to channel that here and now.
Selter close down the distance against 3 CT players. That might be asking a bit much, but at least they trade 1 for 1. CT still looking to continue trying to pressure in. Saw doesn't want to stop or let go of any of their throats. And well, they're really suffering for that decision. Even another team kill. How is it that we haven't seen a single series without one of them?
This was the one. It felt like the one. But pretty much every game we have casted, every series has had a team kill, and I mean, kind of missed, but the AWP that Story saved over does find its impact. Lackey's plucked out of the equation, and they have reinforced this B bomb site. That is where the majority of Aurora are set up for a take.
What happened? Sail through. They're trying to push them into Kenzie, but they're more than happy to take that dual. Story and Utrix with the 2 save rifles have already found so much impact. Problem is going to be Selter. Can Arsdoce give out the call that he has been found? Arsdoce, oh no. Selter might have actually missed the timing. As long as Arsdoce doesn't expose himself to CT, this bomb is going to have a false sense of security. And now Selter's got no idea whatsoever.
He doesn't realize just how good a place he has. Arsdoce does reveal himself, though.
Yeah, but that's not a very good place anymore. Selter, even missing the shot onto Story, who goes for the full cross forward. Arsdoce spots out Latic as he's trying to cross over and plant the bomb. Does interrupt it and force him to rethink. Latic now wants to keep fighting over, but pulls out the bomb at the wrong time. There isn't time. Story with the AWP is going to be chased after. Selter can't land the shot, and again, it's just that one miss. Go exploring down middle. That makes it a crossfire, and that is much more interesting. Arsdoce and Muris to be the ones taking out contact. Latic, though, is going to be peeked into after he's already taken his AWP away. Muris finally getting his duels in mid and dropping the bomb as well. Where are you looking to, you jerks?
Oh. Let's not count them out of this round just yet. 2 really nice shots there from Kenzie. And that bomb, the task of retrieval has been set on Selter, but do they clear that close angle? Answer, no. Wow. Arsdoce finally revealing his position. And
just yet, you can tell with how they're positioned in the map as well. Roman, Jiggle will give him initial info, but will it be too late, though, is the question. No, it will not. Roman. Okay, welcomes them to his Coliseum. You jerks wanted to take a try at it as well, but maybe is regretting it slightly.
Wait a second. Eco frags? I want some of that action. Look at a flash. They do get access to this bomb site, and so that bomb can go down. Extra money is always nice, especially considering they didn't commit to a full force buy, but they may actually end up winning this round. 3-on-3, but that rifle plucked out of Nori's hands and not retrievable just yet. Selter trying to make that cross, but no AK in his possession.
Uterus is trying to cross outwards, just make sure that they can cover out Latic initially, but with that smoke going down, Selter is going to be the one called to order. Spots out the gun barrel. Could have really fired off some shots there, buddy. Can't be going for the streak or discipline shenanigans in situations.
Completely trapped and sectioned off Aurora from very high contest areas of the map. A very late smoke into the red room, and one for Donut as well. It does seem as though part of the plan might be to converge off of ledge and really deal with these players pushed up close, but are they going to be suspicious of it? Nori turned the wrong direction first, and the instant trade, the follow-up there from Roman, but Udrix dropped. A 3-on-4 now as Lackey takes position inside of Cave. Roman split between 2 different attack avenues, but having to deal with both of them. Time is a big issue, and Lackey gets nothing accomplished. That bomb crossing, but Latsik do attack a weakened site. There's no one really holding inside of the bomb site. It's all these long-distance angles, and one of those avenues will be smoked off, but Roman cheats ahead of the smoke in CT, and he gets a double. Had to commit to the reload, but Kenzie not tracking down the trade. A 2-on-4 for Aurora, and they never got this bomb down.
Kenzie's trying to trace in and find Story as well, and although the bomb can finally be planted, the round is already over and done with. Latic would have to pull off a real heroic performance, and he just can't get anything.
Cleared out A, and now they should realize that pressure is coming over towards this B-bomb site. Flash in, U-Jerk's found. That's the critical kill. A 4-on-4 for this post plant, but Roman revealing his hand, and Muter is out in the open. There's trades on trades. Roman actually committing out into the bomb site, but Latic has him pinned. Now it's all about whether Arozdosh can actually find this kill on Kenzie or not. The smoke won't last forever, but Kenzie sits inside of it. It phases, and they exchange glances for only a moment. Kenzie seals it. A 12th round will strike for Aurora.
It
won't be exceptional. Should they lose these weapons, of course.
Well, initial trade is good. There's no one actually there to recover the lost M4. The USBs have actually decided to station themselves back in B. Now, the good thing is Arozdocha with the M4 is still present, and the call's been made. Story's going to be maintaining position, but unfortunately, the USBs are having a target painted on their back as a result of that.
A lot of missed utility.
Slow. Doesn't matter that much. Fortunately, Roman does come out with one, and although there's a chance for Story to actually stop the bomb from crossing over, he can't use it. The fact that he's committing to this so deep is very surprising. He probably should consider saving, but now in a 2v2, it's anyone's game. Although without the kit, they'll still have to think twice. On this take from Aurora, but Fujix has realized that they're trying to come through. The smoke is going to do absolutely nothing, but the Story is here to cover them off. Only good for one. Can't turn around because he's more worried about ramp. And as a result of that, Muter is now heavy lifting or heavy retreating. Something tells me it's going to be more off the latter than the former. Arozdocha, unless he gets an instant kill, there seems to be certain suicide for their chances in the map over here. Selter forced off and backing off. Congress will be creeping through. No one revealing themselves. Roman will now be the first casualty, and Muter. Oh, great start from Norby. Looking for a little bit more, but it will be the turnaround from the MP9. Only good for one. Latic continues to move forward. The Tech 9 to close distance. Ujerk's pinned out, and so is Muterus. That's just done it all. Aurora will be eliminating, so it's just a matter of time.
What do you even do here? Arozdosh so alone, but joined in his teammates.